You know, unfortunately, we weren't sure if we could set up anything that was not permanent, so we're not going to have a podium.
Okay.
But we're going to try to be as clear and put it out there as much as we can. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
We're probably going to set up right here.
Okay. Thank you.
Fine.
Myco.
Oh,
Micah?
Myco. Near Rio Medina,
Oh, okay.
if you know where that is. It's
I've
north
seen
north
it.
of Castroville,
Okay.
between off of 90, but toward Lake Medina. Yeah,
Why'd you come out here today?
because I taught school in Houston for 34 years. This population that's being rounded up is the backbone of our society. I have had Donald Trump's number since he first opened his mouth. He's a playground bully, grown up.
That ICE is getting ready to do what they're doing in Minnesota.
And
People that were here legally, and
he
the
just
status
gets
has been
more and
taken
more
away from
power the
nations
more
in
people
Springfield
who don't
and
speak
around this
out.
country. Springfield,
He's
Ohio,
never
we stand
been
with you.
told to shut up
We continue to stand
or
with you.
behave
America, we stand
or
with
be
you.
civil. And he lies. He says whatever they want to hear. We'll just round up the criminals and the really bad guys,
I don't even know what to say.
bad
I've
hombres.
been holding this up for years.
And then he's taking the whole population. And that is just, this is what we need to do. We need to save our democracy because his goal.
End this thing. Joe Biden
What do
closes
you want
in
to see happen?
2024.
I want to see him arrested, tried.
In this abomination, and get these
I want to
bastards
see
out of
Donald
here.
Trump
No child in
out of
America should be
office.
locked up,
I
let
don't
alone
think we'll be able to
children
elect
that are
him
illegally.
out of office because I'm quite sure he's going to cancel elections. He's on his Hitler track. And I've been consumed with this for 10 years, and thanks for talking to me.
Do you mind if I get your name real quick?
My name is Julie Love, L-O-V-E. I grew up in Houston. I'm a native Texan. I speak Spanish. I taught bilingual classes. My kids are DACA. And they came with their parents. They're grown up. Some went to college. They all graduated high school. They're working. They're paying taxes. They have families. And they are at risk if they're even still here. I worry about them constantly and the rest of the population. And when they're gone, Trump will just move to another group of people that don't look like him. And eventually he'll get to the Democrats, but we'll be gone by then. But he's out of control. And the Congress and the judiciary are at fault. I mean, he convinced people. The phrase, the Democrats are the enemy. He started that his first term. The press is the enemy, and people don't argue about it. They just it gets into the public mindset if nobody speaks up. And I can't get over the lack of bravery in Congress. The Republican senator, for example, John Cornyn, he was a statesman. I have never been a Republican, but I never had any problem with people who were pro-America. I mean, you can be a Republican and not be a traitor to the country. I mean, we don't even need to talk about issues anymore. We just need to talk about our country. It doesn't matter how you feel about abortion or guns or schools or anything if we don't have a country, if we don't have our democracy, and if the people in our government who are supposed to safeguard our government are not doing their jobs. And it's not just the Democrats. They're at fault also. And obviously Trump has something over every single one of them. I don't know what it is. I think it's just, goons that know where their children go to school. They admire your dog in the dog park or something. That's what Stormy Daniels had about. I mean, and that's creepy and scary. But they need to stand up. They need to stand up. It doesn't matter about their job. They're not going to have jobs. They're not going to have jobs when Trump gets what he wants. Yeah, I'll let you go.
Thank you.
All right.
In this effort to free him. But behind these fences and behind these walls, other children are being held. Other families are being held. How is it possible that in America in 2026 we can have a prison for families and for children? That is un-American, it's un-Christian, and it's definitely un-Texan. So we need to make sure that we're here and our voices are heard. It's time to close down this facility. It's told down to close down all the other concentration camps. And we need to find a comprehensive immigration reform system that takes care of those who are not the worst of the worst. Leon is not the worst of the worst. That's the lie. And the big lie keeps being repeated. So today we have lots of people from all over Fort Worth, Dallas, the Valley, all over Texas standing up. Where?
Chicago.
Chicago! Woo!
Chi-Town is in the house.
San Benito! Dilley and Cotula, all standing up and saying enough is enough, ya basta. It's time that we stand up for our principles as Americans and what that Statue of Liberty stands for, and as Christians, how we treat the stranger among us, how Jesus would treated these children and these families. And it's time that Trump fires Secretary Noem and that they disband ICE and reform it. And that's time to do it is today.
This is not the America
I want to
we
introduce
fought for.
our National LULAC president, Roman Palomares.
I'm going to be making a few statements here in a few minutes, but if we're ready to roll, I've got a statement that I want to make. All right. I'm going to go ahead and make this statement to the media today. We just got back. Domingo, our past national president, is here. Hector Flores, another past national. There's 3 national presidents here today. Our national legal advisor is here. We're here to make a statement today. So here's the statement that I want to make sure that everybody understands where we're coming from, okay? So we stand here today in Dilley, Texas, okay, to reaffirm that the U.S. Constitution is our guiding compass, okay? It's always about the Constitution and the rights that are in the Constitution. LULAC was founded in 1929, and here we are 97 years later having to repeat what happened in 1929. It's a shame that 97 years later, times are even worse than when they were there. So these rights belong to every person in this country, citizen and non-citizens. That's what we need to understand. In the Constitution, it says that we're protected by certain rights, but it's for everybody who's in the United States, okay? So today we also mourn the memory of Alex Pretty, who was an ICU nurse with the Veterans Administration, and Renee Nicole Good. We can't forget about them. Those 2 people that sacrificed their lives, that were murdered in Minneapolis. So for those 2 murders, we cannot forget about them. Otherwise, it's for nil, okay? The third point I want to make, that all Americans should be demanding, okay? All Americans should demand accountability of this administration. There is no accountability from this administration. There's been over 100 court orders that have been issued, and they still will not abide by those court orders. There's got to be accountability. And accountability has to come not only from the citizens like we are doing today protesting, but it's got to come from the Congress that is responsible and has oversight of the laws in this country. So that's why we're here today. We want to make sure that Congress understands what their responsibility is, and the reason we are peacefully protesting today is that we want to hold them accountable. We've got to make sure when we send our letters. Last week, David Cruz prepared a letter for me that went to 100 senators, and we said, you got to hold the line to make sure that this administration and DHS does not get the funding that they're wanting to do building these. 2 days ago, there was an announcement that there's 23 new concentration camps that are being built across this country to house almost 100,000 people. We understand that 170,000 people are incarcerated in concentration camps, and 75% of those individuals in those concentration camps are not criminals. The other 25% have misdemeanors, but they're all incarcerated, and it was all about going after these criminals, and that's not what's happening. A couple of more points I want to make real quickly. Okay. Point number 4, okay? Civil rights. Civil rights are not optional in this country. No president, no administration, and no law enforcement official is above the Constitution. And that's what we're seeing today. They think that they're above the Constitution. We can't have that. The Bill of Rights guarantees freedoms that cannot be suspended because enforcement has become politicized in this country. That's what they have done. Freedom of speech, freedom of assembly, like we're doing today, freedom to record public actions, and freedom, like y'all are doing recording today, okay? Those are freedoms that we have. They apply equally not only in Minneapolis, in Washington, D.C., but in Dilley, Texas, too.
Hey.
America's strength is in our diversity that we have. Look at us today.
Yes.
Hispanics, non-minorities, black individuals, and that's what we're doing across the country. Our Constitution binds us together as one people with a shared responsibility to uphold liberty and justice. any attempts to divide us artificially along lines of origin, residence status, or political ideology weakens our union. We can't have that. LULAC calls on all Americans. Today, LULAC is calling on all Americans to recommit to the principles that have guided this nation: equal protection, due process, accountability, and respect for human dignity under the law. And two final points that I want to make is that we are calling our congressional folks that they've got to step up. Right now, all our institutions in Washington, D.C., from the White House to the Supreme Court to the House to the Senate, they're all controlled by one party. And that's what's happening. And we got to make sure that there's some changes that have to come. So one of the things that I was in Arizona yesterday, and I told them it's extremely important that we get the vote out. We're not telling you how to vote, but we got to get out there and exercise that right. So the last point I want to make is that we call on every American to reject the normalization of violence and intimidation. That's what they're trying to do. This is a campaign on intimidation, and what they're trying to do is intimidate us all, so we don't come out and protest peacefully. They don't want us to protest. They don't want us to vote. And if we're not careful, we will lose our democracy. So thank you for being here. We're going to be here for a couple of hours. Yes. David's our...
I want to introduce Gabriel Rosales.
Let's go ahead.
Gabriel Rosales is our Texas LULAC State Director. Gabriel.
This is an emotional roller coaster for all of us. What's happening in Dilley is unconscionable. So this, getting out there and having our voice heard is the single most important thing that we can do. Arresting families and going after our communities, destroying our economies, is not what this country should be doing. I'm happy to see a lot of the membership that are out here, our LULAC membership. But what we said, and just to re-emulate what our national president said, is we will not capitulate. We will not kneel down to an individual that continues to try and intimidate our people. They're picking up children from our schools in San Antonio. They're harassing our workers like cowards in the middle of the night. Picking up family people, working people off of our streets. It may not be like Minnesota because they're invading Minnesota and we're there. We stand 100% behind the Mayor Fry, yes, and Minneapolis, Minnesota.
We are.
I'm going to leave you with this because I can go on and on about the atrocities and about the ugliness and about the emotional chaos that they're creating with all of our families. Yo soy Latino, yo soy Mexicano. And dejan mi gente en paz, dejan mi gente trabajar. And what they're doing is wrong. And like the president said, these are not criminals.
They're not.
They're children, for God's sakes. They're working people. And so what's going on is unacceptable. And what I do know, and I'm a big get out the vote person myself. And here's what I do know. And the light at the end of the tunnel, right, is la gente somos más. There's more of us than there are of them. So we need to register. We need to get to the polls. That pathway to justice and equality is through that ballot box. So today we protest, today we stand with our children. United. Tomorrow we march to the polls.
Yes.
We can change this, and like you said, we're not asking you to who to vote for, right? But this is no longer red or blue.
Thank you.
This is right or wrong. And what you're doing to my community is wrong. What you're doing to my children is wrong. What you're doing to women is wrong.
Yes. Yes.
And we need it to stop.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we're here today, and thank you so much for this opportunity to be here. Go ahead.
Ladies and gentlemen, let me introduce to you now Eric Cedillo, who is the special legal advisor to the national president of LULAC and an attorney in Dallas, Texas.
Just really quickly, just wanted to reiterate what everyone has said and kind of losing focus on why we began this whole process here at Dilley is because of Liam. Now, fortunately, thank God, Liam was released this morning. He's back home, and we've seen the pictures, and that's a very wonderful news. But the problem is, this is happening across the country with thousands of Liams. And this big, beautiful bill that was passed, $45 billion was committed to infrastructure. So we're seeing these facilities pop up everywhere. We've got one that's right outside of Dallas County in Hutchins that people are fighting out and against. And that's fine. Keep those out of your area. But it's going to pop up someplace else unless Congress reallocates the monies for this building of infrastructure to the tune of $45 billion. That is with a B. That's $1 billion for practically every state in the union to create new facilities like this one. We've got to stand up and say enough. We've got to say no more. Congress, do your job. Reallocate these monies that are funding things like this going on across the country. And again, thank God that Liam's been released, but this stuff is going to continue. Thank you guys so much for coming out today.
Thank you very much.
The last day to register.
The women of America also in our communities are here to be represented, speaking with them and for them, shoulder to shoulder. Lupe Torres, the LULAC National Vice President for Women.
Thank you. Thank you. I stand here today as a human, a woman, a leader whose conscience will not be silenced. I ask a question that should haunt every person of faith, every parent, every American. What danger did this 5-year-old child pose to the most powerful nation on earth?
None.
What threat did this kindergarten person represent to the safety of our values and of our future? A 5-year-old was held hundreds of miles away from his home, from his mother, isolated from his classroom, his friends, his sense of safety, all in the name of a political slogan. That is not strength. That is not security. That is cruelty dressed up as a policy. If this were happening in another country, if we saw images of these children being behind barbed wire, guarded by armed officers, we would cry out in outrage. We would demand intervention. We would say that is wrong anywhere on earth. And yet, here we are, standing in Texas, standing in America, forced to say the same thing about our own government. As women, we know about protection. We know something about sacrifice. We know something about standing between harm and those that we love. And let me be clear, no woman, I believe, that this is happening is a Christian. Christians do not do these things. We are about love, about security, about sharing, doing kindness to one another. No mother believes this makes America safer. No leader believes this makes America greater. Every document we claim to hold sacred, the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, international human laws, cries out against the imprisonment of children, against family separation, against the normalization of fear as governance. What makes this even more disturbing is what surrounds these walls, layers of enforcement, barbed wire, armed guards, and state officers sworn to protect Texans, not to shield injustice from accountability. This is not their oath. This is not their duty. And history will remember who stood where. In the long history of this country, women have never been silenced in the face of injustice. We march, we organize, we testify. We stood shoulder to shoulder with men of conscience to defend our families and our government. And so here we are again. On behalf of the women of the League of United Latin American Citizens, I say this plainly. We will not be silenced. Our voice will not be softened.
Yes.
I stand here today because my faith demands it, because my conscience commands it, because a lifetime of service has taught me that when something is wrong, it is wrong.
That's right.
No matter who justifies it. What is happening here is wrong, and it demands that we speak. I implore the women, the daughters, sisters, and mothers of America to rise and say to our elected officials, free the children!
Free the children.
Free the children!
Free the children.
Free the children!
Free the children! Free the children!
Free the
Children!
The lady who is here, she has come up and she is the symbol of why we stand here together. I know her only by her first name, but you will recognize her as an emblem of the Statue of Liberty that says to the oppressed people of the world, come to us and we will provide you refuge. Jackie, what would you like to say?
Well, I'm going to ask you to bear with me because I wasn't planning to speak, but I just came from Minneapolis, and what I saw there would be at home in a war zone. My family's from Ukraine, and I was in Ukraine during the war, and the trauma, the trauma the entire city is experiencing, that these men and some women are inflicting on our citizens and our neighbors, is something that I don't know if I would have understood had I not seen it with my own eyes. It really reminded me of being in Ukraine during the war. I know that Liam is free today, but how many other Liams are there that we don't even know about because there wasn't a viral photo? I mean,
Free the children!
Free the children.
Free the children. Free the innocent.
I guess I also want to say I was in Minneapolis when Alex Preddy was killed. I was a few blocks away. Rest in peace to him, to Renee Good, to the other 40 people who have died in ICE custody. And this is the time to be brave. This is the time that we need to get up and stand up, rise up, be in the streets, support our neighbors, document. They want us to be afraid. They want us to be quiet. This is not the time to do that.
Thank you. Thank you. Mr. President, I want to introduce another. This is one of the national presidents of LULAC who served previously, Hector Flores. We have three presidents here. If you'll move over here, my friend. Thank you very much. Speak up loudly.
Buenas tardes todos.
Buenas tardes.
You know, I left this community, Dilley, Texas, 60 some odd years ago. I never imagined that someday I would be coming back to demonstrate against my hometown and this sinner that's right across from us right here. You know, most of my generation had to leave here to get an education, to get a job, to create a better life. So most of my cousins that stayed here, they've had a rough time. They've been able to survive, but they would have never thought that we would be building a place where they would put children in a penitentiary, even though it's called a detention center. It's a penitentiary is what it is. You know, if you look at your history, there's been 3 times when this country has actually done probably one of the most horrific things. In 29 and 30, when the Wall Street market broke down and fell, they did the same thing. They didn't need the workers anymore. It's like we can bring the workers here and use them and make people rich. We don't need them anymore. Let's kick them back wherever, whether they're American citizens or not. Again, in the 1950s, during the Eisenhower era, believe it or not, they did the same thing because the economy was down. So what happens again? Not only did they go out and arrest people that had already become citizens, those that were born here, and what did they do? They put them on boats, they put them on planes, they put them on trains. They actually took them to the border and made them go back to Mexico, even though many of them, all they knew was this country. Furthermore, we are in Mexico. Let's be realistic about it. This is Mexico where we're at. This is our homelands. We've been here longer than anybody else.
That's right.
Latinos and particularly the Spanish and Indian indigenous, we merged together to create this country. This was nothing but a savage country. And then through the wars, they've changed and took away what was Mexico in particular. But let me just say, the worst part of it that was mentioned, without reiterating and repeating myself, this country needs to respect the Constitution. What happened to the party of values that talked so much about America, its Constitution? We are the ones that defend everybody. We are the country in the West that defends the rights of people all over the world, not that goes out and kills people all over the world. I wish I could have longer to expound some more, but look, we all can do something that we're here. We already made it here. We know what the issues are. You can call your congressman, you can call your senator, you can call your state representative, you can call anybody, you can also write a letter, you can do an email, you can do something. Please commit yourself to doing something today.
Eso.
Go vote. Yes.
Okay.
Go vote.
El pueblo se ve, el pueblo se siente, el pueblo está presente.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Ladies and gentlemen, in America's history, Latinos have stood bravely in times of war and even in times of peace. Let there be no mistake about the courage of Latinos in military uniform. And today, I'm very honored to represent here before you Larry Romo, who is the Vice President of LULAC for Military and Veterans Affairs.
I'm proud to stand with my fellow patriots here today. We are patriots. We understand what it needs to follow the United States Constitution and also an oath of office. We have some fellow veterans here, like Roman himself, Placido, my friend, and a couple other patriots that are veterans here, and we understand that. Since we have some short time, I'm going to cut to the chase. We will talk about the oath of office that the ICE agents are supposed to do, and they're supposed to uphold and defend the Constitution of the United States, okay? But they're not doing that, and we need to hold them accountable. I'm just going to cut to the chase here and talk about what they're doing incorrectly, and they need to be upheld by the law. We need to emphasize to our fellow countrymen and women that some ICE agents are violating their oath of office and breaking laws and must be held accountable. ICE agents have violated several United States constitutional amendments during immigration enforcement actions, primarily the Fourth Amendment regarding unreasonable searches and seizures, and the Fifth Amendment regarding due process. Specific violations often involve entering homes without valid judicial warrants, using excessive force, or detaining individuals without probable cause. Key constitutional sections that may be violated include the Fourth Amendment, unreasonable search and seizure. This is the most frequently cited violation, as agents may enter homes or private spaces without a valid judge-signed warrant. While administrative warrants issued by ICE DHS are used, they do not authorize entry in a home without consent or existent circumstances. Fifth Amendment, due process. The Due Process Clause protects all persons in the United States, regardless of citizenship status, of deprivation of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. 14th Amendment. Fifth Amendment, it protects individuals from being deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process. First Amendment, while less common, interfering with the right to record law enforcement in public spaces has been cited as a violation. Common scenarios where violations may occur: unlawful entry, entering homes without consent or additional warrant. Roving patrols, detention, stopping individuals without reasonable suspicion of legal presence. Causes of arrest, lacking probable cause. Impersonation, deceptively identifying as local police or probation officers to gain entry. Use of force, using excessive force during encounters. So we need to hold ICE accountable. That's why we're here today. We're American patriots around here, and we're proud to stand up for the Constitution. Thank you.
Thank you. We will
Yes.
make a presentation in Spanish momentarily. I want to introduce a longtime community voice, Placido Salazar.
¿Qué tal? ¿Cómo estamos? En nombre de todos nuestros veteranos mexicoamericanos, tan americanos o más americanos que Donald Trump, we did not hide behind our bone spurs. I enlisted at the age of 17. I served in Vietnam, as many of our Mexican-American veterans. As a matter of fact, many of our Mexican-Americans have earned the Medal of Honor. They have sacrificed their lives, their health, their youth as I did. So now we need to remind Donald Trump and all the others that we were born here. This is our country. We did not cross any ocean to get to America. We belong here and we deserve the justice, the democracy that we fought for. We paid the price.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, ahora en español para toda la prensa y los medios en español. Obviamente muchas personas de los que están siendo afectados hablan español. Un consejero especial al presidente de LULAC, he is a special advisor of the national president, Fernando Dubove, D-U-B-O-V-E. Fernando, step up, por favor.
Gracias. ¿En español?
Sí, por favor.
Quiero hablar sobre la mentira que están mandando de Washington, D.C., diciendo que las personas que están detenidos aquí son lo peor de lo peor. Eso es una mentira. Un chico de 5 años pasando semanas y meses detenido, ¿qué es lo peor que hizo? No hizo su cama, no levantó los platos. No, y pasó meses detenido. Tengo un cliente que pasó Navidad detenido porque iba a migración cada año, los últimos 4 años, después que un juez de inmigración decidió cerrarle el caso para que sigan los trámites por su esposa que es residente. Se presentó cada año y la última vez, una semana antes de Navidad, con la carta de inmigración que estaba en la línea para agarrar sus papeles, fue arrestado y detenido, pasó Navidad en la cárcel. Y esta semana, un juez de inmigración me dijo, discúlpame, no podemos darle fianza porque esta nueva ley no le permite darle una fianza. Entonces sigue la lucha. Nunca tuvo problemas con la policía, nunca tuvo problemas. Y la cosa es esto. Sabemos que migración está mintiendo porque este muchacho fue aprobado por TPS. Y si tenés TPS aprobado, quiere decir que nunca fuiste arrestado, nunca tuviste problemas con la policía, estuviste trabajando con permiso de trabajo, seguro social válido y con sus impuestos. Y sigue detenido. Los peor de lo peor no están aquí. Son los políticos en Washington que quieren decirnos que esto están haciendo a nosotros un favor. Y para las personas que están escuchando, que no van a entender porque estoy hablando en español, que piensan, esto no puede hacer pasar a vos, porque sos americano y anglo, acordate, menos de un mes atrás, una persona que trabajaba con el VA, como enfermero, que tenía el derecho para mantener una arma por la Constitución de los Estados Unidos, fue asesinado en las calles por estas personas diciéndonos que estos son los peor de lo peor. No. Hoy estamos aquí para recordarle al país que ellos son los que están viniendo de nuestra comunidad, los que están separando familias. Ellos son lo peor que peor. Y ellos están escondiéndose en Washington. Sinvergüenzas.
Sinvergüenzas. Thank you.
All right, so just to formally announce, LULAC will be launching its largest voter registration drive in the history of Texas in 2026. We're going to be going from Dilley, Texas, to Lubbock, to El Paso, to the Valle, to San Antonio and Austin, and we're going to be sending the message that was sent yesterday in a special election when a state senate seat that had been won by Trump by 17 points was won by a Democrat for the first time. That our vote is our voice, and we need to get the worst out of the worst out of Washington, D.C., and out of Austin, Texas, and we need to put the best people there representing true American values and standing what we stand for. That's what we're going to be doing, and that's what we're going to be launching. And we're going to free the children, and we're going to free our Constitution. Y afuera con la migra, abajo con la migra, adelante con la gente. Gracias.
Ladies and gentlemen, we said this is a vigil, so I'm going to introduce another leader in LULAC to close with a prayer.
My name is Lourdes Galvan. I'm a former National Women's Vice President, VP. I would like to say a few words in a prayer for us, for all our people. Heavenly Father, you see us here today. You know what we're all about. You told us to love one another, and we're here to say we have to love one another. I ask that you give us the strength the voice, a loud voice to send to this country to free our people, all the people of brown skin that they have taken, all the children that have been captured and kept in cages. Heavenly Father, you have the power to give us the strength. You hear our voice, and we plead and we cry to you, dear Lord. Help Lulac and all his people. Help our city, our country, to follow your word. Love one another. Defend the immigrants. Welcome them into this country. Lord Father God, we have faith, we have hope, and we know that we will win this challenge. In your name, amen.
Amen. Thank you very much.
Y que viva Lulac.
Sí se puede. 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 Sí se puede.
Thank you very much for being here.
Aquí estamos y no los vamos. 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 Aquí estamos y no los vamos.
You want to know who belongs in prison? Not the children. Donald Trump.
Vencido. Basta, vencido.
Él was the one speaking out. She worries about
¿Sabe quién pertenece en la prisión? Los niños no. Donald Trump y la milicia.
Chop it up. That's okay. They only get.
Shame on the police! Shame on the police!
I can sum up what was said in one sentence, and that is that this is a human rights abuse. They are abusing human rights. The United States government right now is an abuser of human rights. That's a summary in one sentence of what we have all been saying. It's a summary of what we've all been seeing. It's a summary of every person that has a conscience is feeling. The United States government is abusing immigrants. And it is a shame. And it must stop, and it must stop now. And it's the leadership of the Department of Homeland Security that is lying to the American people. It is Donald Trump that is lying. And everyone with a conscience. Our hearts go out. Our hearts go out to everybody that's wrongfully detained. This is not who we are. This is not America. It's wrong. You don't have to be a lawyer. You don't have to be a researcher. You don't have to be a historian. You just have to have a heart that know that what's going on is wrong. We cry and we fear for our fellow citizens, and everyone wants this to end. It must end now. Everyone with a conscience must stand up, must speak out, stand shoulder to shoulder. Administration is doing. Thank you.
Hey.
Good job. Get out of our way, out of our lives, guys.
Get a picture here
Get out of our lives.
Yeah.
You will be in jail. You will be in jail in a couple of weeks. We're doing 40 murders. 40 murders.
It's okay, it's a metaphor.
Really?
Sure. Are you guys want me to take the picture? Yeah.
Lácido, Salazar.
Bingo.
you.
Very
Thank you
sad.
for saying that. It's terrible.
Hello.
Channel 4 to San Antonio.
Hi, how are you
Tell me
doing?
about why you're out here today.
I am out here supporting mi clase de gente. We are all Hispanics. We should stand together.
What do you hope to come out of today's event?
I'm sorry?
What do you hope comes out of this?
We need to stop them from taking our babies into these kind of facilities because they got grown men and women that we don't know who they are. Just because they work for ICE, does that mean that they're not pedophiles? Our kids are being hurt in there. A lot of us know that that's true. These people are just here to make a living. They're here to work just like us. I feel that if there's an open space because that job's available, that means that one of us didn't want it. So let someone else take it. They're okay. My anger right now is that my 11-year-old called me from school last week and said, Grandma, don't come outside because there's a lot of ice out here. And I said, so what does that matter? We have papers. He said, no, but our president said if we're brown, we're going to get picked up. 11 years old shouldn't have to be worried about that.
Do you think your voice is being heard today?
I think it is, but they hear us, but they go on the deaf ear anyway. They do hear us. They know we're out here.
How do you know that you've made a change?
I don't know that I've made a change, but somebody did because that little boy's home by now. Somebody did, but don't just make a change for just him. Make the change for all our kids. Don't just concentrate on one baby. There's a lot of them in there.
Anything else you want to add?
Hopefully this will stop soon because we don't need to stop work. We don't need to stop everything we're doing, so we have to come out and defend every other people's rights. My name is Lidia Leos from San Antonio, Texas.
Migra got to go! Hey, ho, ho! Migra has to go! Hey, hey, ho, ho! La migra got to go!
Hey, hey, ho, ho. Migra's got to go.
I want to play a quick draw.
Migra's got to go! Hey, hey, ho, ho! Migra's got to go! Hey, hey, ho, ho! Migra's got to go!
Go spray the fucking officers of the law with these bubbles.
What are you going to say? I don't know. I'm going to give it to This in Chicago.
I used to live in Ashland and Taylor, and I lived at Rogers Park too.
Chinga la migra.
Pueblo unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido jamás será vencido.
Unido.
Unido jamás será vencido. El pueblo unido.
Vencido.
Un pueblo
Unido. Jamás será vencido.
¡El pueblo! Let the children go! Let the children
Today we march, tomorrow we vote. 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 Tomorrow we vote. Today we march, tomorrow we vote.
Today we march, tomorrow we vote. Today we march, tomorrow we vote. Today we march, tomorrow we vote.
To see what we're doing to these people who came here. My daughter is half, my ex-husband is from Honduras, and he came here at the age of 5 for a better opportunity with his mother and his brother. And now we're telling these people, it's out in my heart, and I'm tired of racism, and I'm tired of this administration, and I want better for this country. I'm happy to see all these people out here today. It makes me proud, and I hope this is what we need to make the change.
Do you believe that you are going to make the change that you want?
I think this is the only way. I think it's in the hands of the people now. I don't think that we can rely on our government anymore. I don't think right now that they see how dire this is. They're not out here with us the way that they need to be. So I think it's the people who are the people that are going to make the difference now.
Are you a voter?
I am. Since I was 18.
Do you think things like this are going to draw people to vote?
100%. I think it's very obvious with what just happened in Fort Worth, flipping that seat. I think it is a symbol of what's to come in the midterms and hopefully the future.
How do you feel about these detention centers being built today?
I think they're absolutely disgusting. I think the fact that these people are okay standing by watching these women and children be treated this way like criminals when they've done nothing, this is going to impact these people for the rest of their lives. These children will be impacted for the rest of their lives. I don't think they understand. I think compassion is missing in these people. I think we've evolved into some really sad and scary things out there, and I think that this kind of stuff is what brings humanity back.
Where are you from?
I'm from San Antonio.
So the idea of immigration isn't new?
Absolutely not. I actually also grew up I spent half of my time in San Diego, half my time in San Antonio. The culture, the Latino culture, is more of who I am than my ancestors from across, in Eastern Europe. I was surrounded by that culture growing up, so it's very important to me.
For sure. When you see a crowd like this,
Emotional. I've been emotional all morning, just seeing all these people here together of all ages, children. It makes me feel proud to be a patriot of this country and hopeful.
Describe the crowd.
I think it's a great mix. You see veterans here. My father fought in Vietnam, so that to me is very dear. You see young children. You see people in their 20s. You see white, black, brown, everybody here together, and I think that's really important because that's what America is based on.
Did you hear the speech by Lula?
I did.
What are your thoughts?
I think all the speeches are so important. I think people that are willing to stand in front of a crowd and speak their mind and not be scared is the most important thing. I think fear is what drives what's going on right now. It's really important for us to fight back against that and not be scared because we're in this together.
Anything else you want to add?
No, but thank you for talking to me and giving me a chance. I appreciate you snuck up on me.
Did I get your name?
My name is Whitney Kaiser.
Okay. Thank you, Whitney.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
Mira, aquí estamos, no nos vamos. Mira, aquí estamos y no nos vamos. Mira, aquí estamos y no nos vamos. Mira, aquí estamos y no nos vamos.
Why? Saturday?
Aquí estamos.
You said you've already gone to medical.
Mira, aquí estamos. Pero vamos. ICE, aquí estamos y no nos vamos. ICE, aquí estamos y no nos vamos.
I'm from Chicago. I don't know if I should be saying that because I feel like I'm playing into this narrative of like paid protesters. Is this like, is this on now? Is this live?
Yes.
Oh no.
You're fine. It's web streaming.
Okay.
Tell me about why you came out today.
I came out today because I have a moral imperative to. I mean, I think that we all do. There's no, I don't understand how someone could not at this like moment in time, how you could sit by and watch what's happening. I mean, I saw it in Chicago. I obviously just saw it in Minneapolis. I know the school that Liam went to, and there have been other kids taken from that school whose names we just don't know because, like I said, there is no viral photo of them. But yeah, I think that it's our duty as Americans to stand up to this.
It's your first time in Texas.
It's not my first time ever in Texas, but it's been a long time.
Disband ICE! Disband ICE!
Is this the crowd you expected to see?
Send ICE to jail!
Yes, because despite what right-wing screamers like Cam Higbee say, this is an issue that crosses all divides. I mean, this is not right or left or young or old, like gendered. It's about like people who've had any experience with ICE can see that what they're doing is wrong. And I think that's really the only divide there is there are places that have been fortunate enough to not experience the brutality that they're inflicting so far. But when you go to communities that have, everybody stands together against it because it's just egregiously wrong. But it is always still it's really heartening to see young kids standing up for kids who are inside this facility is mostly women and children, and then our elders and everything standing together. It does give me a tiny bit of hope. Yeah.
Did you hear the speech by Lula?
I think I heard most of the speeches. Yeah.
Any thoughts on it?
Which speech? Because there were a bunch of speeches. I mean, I think it really struck me that immigrants are are the backbone of this country, and we are turning our backs on them now. This administration is shooting us in the foot. The idea that this country can function in any way without immigrants or would be what it is crazy. And obviously, I don't know. I mean, the real the cowards here and the people who deserve to be imprisoned in some facility somewhere are the people who have been injuring protesters, who've been abusing detainees, I don't know. I just it's hard to find the words sometimes because again, when you see it firsthand and you meet families that have been impacted, it's heartbreaking.
I did want to touch on that. You've been all over. You've seen a lot of this. It all kind of ties together. What perspectives has that given you?
I mean, one perspective is that they're escalating. They're getting worse. I mean, the tactics and just the constant. They're lawless. They're like a lawless gang. In Minneapolis, what they're doing there, I mean, it was bad in Chicago, and I don't want to downplay that. And it's on another level, and it's terrifying, right? I mean, there's no accountability and no consequences. I don't remember a time, I mean, in my lifetime for sure, I've never seen that be the case in the U.S. where there's blanket, as J.D. Vance said, immunity for people to act in whatever way they want. I mean, I've seen them steal people's vehicles. They steal people's phones. You're never going to see that again. They use children as bait. They crash cars all the time, and they're running red lights with no. I mean, some of these things are obviously bigger than others. Killing people in the street, the biggest problem, and yet there's all these other levels on which the entire city stops functioning as a result of their behavior. They are not using license plates, and then they just have no lights or signs. They run red lights. Someone crashes their car, and you would think in a normal situation that if a real law enforcement agency was responsible for a car accident, that they would do something about it. They just leave the scene, and you, as a often U.S. citizen, are left dealing with these costs. So, I mean, I don't know. I'm concerned about it was already so bad, and I'm concerned about the direction that things are going. Yeah.
You're dressed as a Statue of Liberty.
Yeah.
Tell me about that.
I mean, I want to believe that there's still a possibility that this country will stand for what the Statue of Liberty is supposed to stand for, to welcome people here. My parents came here as refugees. They sought asylum. And I think that the country we live in now is unrecognizable to that, but that I hope to represent that hope. Yeah.
Now, luckily, it's a pretty one-sided protest out here, but for the people at home screaming at their computers, watching this, what do you tell them?
Screaming at their computers because they're upset that we're out here?
Let's do both sides.
I mean, for people who agree that this is wrong, for people who have eyes and hearts, it's not enough to sit at home and feel upset. You need to get involved. And that looks like connecting with like local organizations in your community that are already doing this work, many of them for decades. That looks like getting involved in mutual aid. It looks like doing rapid response. It looks like delivering food to families who are in hiding. I understand that like we all have jobs and responsibilities, and like this is a crisis. Like this is the time to the best time to get involved was a while ago, and like the second best time is now. So for people, I mean, I don't know if I have much to say to people who would be supportive of what ICE is doing. I think that the majority of people who are just uninformed. My experience in talking to those people is that they do not actually know what is happening. And I'm not sure how to solve that problem. Like, we're so polarized as a country, and the media landscape is so polarized. I have parents who, I mean, my parents are big-time Trump supporters. But even they can see, like, from hearing from me and seeing what happened in Chicago, they can see that also that this is wrong. But if people are not getting that information, I don't know how to change anybody's minds, right?
Do you think this is a gap that can be, or a gap that can be bridged?
Not when we have an administration that's like actively trying to gain control of the media, and not when we have like a Department of Homeland Security that puts out statements like the moment after an incident happens, they are putting out statements as facts that are lies. I mean, it's like completely, there's video that contradicts what they say, and it doesn't matter because they get the story out first, and that can be the only story that people hear. I don't know. I think like this is like way beyond my pay level. Like the algorithm stuff, right? Like what I see and what my mom would see if she opens Instagram are two completely different things. That needs to change. Like we need to understand like that there are facts. I'm very worried when people tell me that they just do not believe anything that's coming from a newspaper at this point, right?
I mean, you have unfiltered access right now to people that are just tuning in and watching the news. What do you tell them?
I mean, I would tell them to believe the people who are on the ground seeing what's happening. I would tell them to believe immigrants when they tell them that they're scared, and that you should believe the stories of people who have been quote unquote doing everything the right way, who are here legally, who are following the process and are still getting detained in deplorable conditions. I mean, when people from other countries see what's happening here, they're horrified. Like, this is not a good look. And that's, I mean, not the most important thing, but I don't know how to convince people to have empathy if they don't.
You don't know how to take people down.
So, I don't know. This is a very long conversation. Thank you.
Can I get your name?
Sure. My name is Jackie Birov. Should I spell it?
If you want.
Jackie and B as in Bravo, IROV as in Victor. I never remember the.
You know anybody?
I mean, I don't know if I would want to see that, but how should I find that?
Hey, it's completely unfiltered.
man. I've let all my...
Where's everybody? Come on, folks. Come on, Raza.
I'm gonna get out of the way.
Let's say something.
What was your name? Oh, it says right.
Let's see that hand.
Wait.
From my granddaughter, because she's here for a reason. Come on,
I want to
Mama.
talk with you.
Okay. I'm Lourdes Galvan, and I'm from San Antonio, Texas. And this is?
I'm Graciela Rodriguez. I'm from
Graciela.
San Antonio as well.
Yeah, and we're here today because she has been listening to the news, and she listens to me. I'm her grandmother, and I've been involved in politics and everything that's happened in our nation. So she really wants to get involved, and I think that our youth are the ones that really need to learn about what's going on, because they're going to carry the torch for us if things don't change. So,
How do you feel about that?
There's high schools all over San Antonio. They're walking out of school. They're just walking out, and they're protesting. They're protesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel my school, we should host something like that, or we should just speak up overall. And if without speaking up, we don't know what's happening. So I feel younger people like myself, we should speak up around this topic.
Why do you believe that?
There's many children getting detained and put in detention centers everywhere around America, and it's all wrong. It's cruel. It's cruel. It's children. Children are getting deported away from their families. Families are getting separated from each other.
They don't deal with men. They deal with women and children and old men.
Sad. They're all getting separated, and no one. I don't know how people can be MAGA, because you can't support someone that bad. You cannot. Trump he's just a bad person overall, and people are supporting him, and it feels like they're worshiping him. No, like people don't treat Jesus as good as they treat Trump. MAGA are it's basically like a religion for them. And
what would you like to see different?
I think we should maybe impeach him or anything.
As far as your neighbors, friends, family, what do you want to see from your community?
More protest.
More protesting.
Abolish ICE. Abolish the system. It's wrong. It's just wrong overall.
To your peers, people your age, how old are you?
11.
11? So you're middle school, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you talk to your friends about these things?
Yes, they all agree. We all agree on stuff like this. We think we should stop this for the better of America.
Come on, gente. Now. Chinga ice.
Yes.
Chinga ice.
We worry lots about our classmates, our peers, because ICE, they racially profile people. They don't. It's just wrong. They shouldn't be doing all that stuff.
Wannabes!
Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry, I know the camera, it's intimidating, it's huge. But I just wanted to know, so you're in middle school, you're talking to your friends, you think that ICE is, what they're doing is wrong.
Wrong.
You shouldn't be doing it. Tell me specifically, obviously, it's the arresting children, but what would you like to be seen differently? What type of America do you want to live in?
Where everyone is equal. No one is above or below each other. We're all equal. Racism overall is just not. Also, Native Americans, they had their land stolen from them in 14 something, and none of the trying to understand how people got arrested. Settlers, none of them had papers. They didn't need papers, so why should immigrants need papers if this is not even settlers' land?
Do you have hope that things will be different in the future?
Yes.
How do you think that's going to happen?
I hope that with these protests, I hope it could like shape in how America will be like in the future.
Thank you. Thank you for your time.
Some barricades.
Really concerned about y tienen razón, y tienen pasión para
countdown.
What's over there? Anybody need an N95? Anybody need an N95? Oh. You think they're going to spray us? Who knows? Peaceful last time. Peaceful last time. And escalated it. Anybody need an N95? I'll take one. I got some more in the car. I could go grab some.
I'm not gonna do what everybody thinks I'm gonna do. Freak out, baby! Oops. Okay.
Excuse me, you want to tell me about why y'all are out here today? What's your name?
We're out here today because we think that the way that ICE is treating children and families is really unjust. And even though Liam was released yesterday, there's tons more Liams in there right now, and we want to help by letting them know that they're not alone, that we care, and we want them to be freed.
Where are y'all from?
San Antonio.
Yeah. Is this y'all's first protest?
No.
How does it make you feel to be out here and see these people?
It's disheartening to see like how many officers they have devoted to this, and how many people are out here devoted to just watching us instead of helping the community.
How does that make you feel? You said heartening.
It's disheartening that there's so many officers here just to watch peaceful protesters instead of out there to like really protect the community.
Does it make you feel like you're being heard at all?
It just makes me feel like our resources aren't being adequately used, that they're being used to, instead of protect the people, that they're being used to chain the people up and try to stifle our voices. And all we want to do is stand together.
What would you like to see from, I guess, Dilley Police, state troopers, and response from Abbott?
I would like to hear them say that we're working together to free the children and get them home safely, instead of trying to keep us away. I'd like to see more transparency in how the children are being treated and let people in there and let us know that they're okay.
How do you know that y'all were successful?
We don't, but we're going to keep letting our voice be heard until the children are released.
Any response to the speeches that y'all heard today?
We stand by LULAC, and we want to help support their cause.
Tell me a little bit more about like what. So what do your signs say?
This sign says human rights don't stop at any border.
What do you mean by that?
I mean that just because somebody may be here undocumented, it doesn't mean that we can't treat them like a human being.
For people on the other side of the aisle, what would you say to them?
People who think that undocumented people should be treated not like human beings, I hope they see their way back to being a good person and being a good human being.
For people that believe that immigration has to be enforced, or all the things, how do you convince them from the other side of the aisle that what they're doing is inhumane?
That there's a right and a wrong way to do things, that we can manage immigration in a way that seems kind to human individuals. We have done it before. It's never been like this before. And the majority of the country, they've done tons of polls, don't like it. So I wish that the administration would be an administration of the people and listen to the majority.
Is there anything I left out you want to add?
Just free the children.
All my fellow Americans, my fellow people, my gente. If you came on the bus from San Antonio, we're gonna be here they're gonna come in 15 minutes. If you come from San Antonio, the bus will be here in 15 minutes for us. Thank you.
Yeah, a lot of security.
They're lining up, and they're putting on their masks, and they got something from the back of that first truck. They're getting ready to throw it like Wednesday.
All right. Well, I appreciate the heads up. Thank you. Do you want to talk to me about why you're out here?
That's my wife. We pretty much said like most everything you're gonna hear. We discussed it. And,
all right.
It really is.
I'll let you sneak out of this one.
Well, I try to encompass as much of humanity as possible, but really the message is resist. We must resist this fascist regime. We must. This is it. We're there.
Do you feel like you're making progress?
No, but we're not going to stop. And we were here first. We're never going to forget that.
If you're elected officials, what do you want to tell them?
I want to tell them that it's time for them to step down and let somebody else take over.
Where are you from, actually?
Bear County.
Bear County? Okay.
San Antonio, so...
Are you familiar with who your representative is?
No, not by name, no.
Do you think these events are going to drive more people to the polls?
Yes, I think we are already seeing a slight change in color. Yes.
The bus will come right here and pick you up right in the front, okay? In about 15 minutes.
So
we're getting ready to head back to Dallas. Thank you, everybody, for coming. Don't forget.
I think that my voice individually, no, far from it. I think collectively we have to make a difference. We have to. We don't have an option at this point. We're out of options. We're there.
What do you think happens when the option to vote is taken away?
Then things will just get worse. We'll never see the end of this. We will all end up behind a fence somewhere. He has done nothing but hurt his people at the expense of his pocket. He doesn't even hide it. He's got to go. He's got to go. He's done nothing for these people. No, I think there are too many Latinos who have simply forgotten where they have come from and the struggles that their ancestors had to deal with. I think that's the bottom line. People get here and they don't want anybody else here. All of a sudden, it's like there's not enough pie for everybody.
And they need safety help.
What do you think drives that?
But we have to turn their train.
I think the need to want to belong, and they feel like it's got to be the white need and not the brown need. I mean, I think that's it. I think the need to belong to the majority is greater than the fact that we actually are the majority. I'm sorry?
Are you talking about white supremacy?
Well, yes. So this campaign was never about making, I just posted that this morning. It was never about making America great, because 5-year-olds are not criminals. They just aren't. It's about making America white. That's what it's about. And it's astounding to me that so many brown people think that they are in the white camp. That's astounding.
What would you like to see?
They are the biggest threat to us, is our own people who have simply forgotten that their ancestors maybe had to go through some of the same struggles. Or maybe the border crossed us.
Yeah. What would you like to see from your neighbors?
I would like to remind everybody that this is about all of humanity. This is clearly about making America white. You're either white or you're not. You're either on the right side of history or you're not. That time is here.
You don't sound very hopeful. Are you hopeful?
The fight will continue.
Okay.
The fight will continue. We're not going to stop. I mean, we were here first, for crying out loud.
Right.
Jeez. You know, these are the ancestors of the original occupiers, rapists, murderers, and thieves. Telling us to go home? Please. I am home.
What do you think has part of that? Oh well.
That's
Guess it's fate.
I hope it's long enough.
Did I get your name?
Olga.
You want to share your name?
Olga.
Olga?
Mm-hmm.
Olga.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I think we can start taking a look now that you wanted to add yourself.
No, you know.
With a lot of other different civil rights organizations, right? We have a link where people can come in and report some of the ICE happenings that are happening in our community, and we're going to get those into the right hands because we have to hold these people accountable. But there is no accountability right now. So the only way is through that ballot box. So once we can elect a House and a Senate, then we can begin to hold these people accountable. But we can't hold them accountable unless we have an account of what happens. Right, so we need our people to continue to do what they're doing. Pull your cameras out. Take a picture of these fools and what they're doing in our community and continue to put that down in writing. File the civil rights complaint, even though we know we have a Department of Justice that's worth the darn. That ain't worth the darn. But it's still the consensus of many civil rights organizations that we continue to document the atrocities that are happening to make sure that our story is heard.
And what about our current representatives?
Right now, I mean, look, our current representatives, I think we have a few in there that are fighting. Akeem Jeffries, we've got Jasmine Crockett, we've got Al Green, we've got Castro, right? And we're pushing them to do more. We're pushing them not just to sit there and have a press conference, not just to sit there and call out with the president, but come into the streets and help us like we were talking about. What do we do when the kid has no food to eat? What do we do when the family has no breadwinner? What are we supposed to do? So we need to come together along with the Methodist Church, the Catholic Church, and put together a mechanism so that we can address those issues on the ground when they do take away a parent like that.
All right, so I'm out of San Antonio, so let's talk specifically about Castro. Mm-hmm. What has it been like working with him?
You know, he's a young man. He's articulate, he's intelligent, and he understands the issues. But we need a congressman that's going to fight. We need a congressman that's going to stand up at the schools and get in front of those people like Carvajal over in in Arizona, that's going to confront the ICE as they come into our communities. And I haven't seen that yet. I am a big supporter of him. Rosie, I love you. But the fact of the matter is in these times, right? Like I'm supporting another candidate that's a civil rights attorney. In these times, we need people that are going to fight, not anybody that's just going to go legislate, right? So I get it, the legislation, yes, right? But we also need that young man to come out to the streets, to knock onto the doors, to show up at the House, to show up at the board meeting, right? And that's the kind of representation that we need that's going to stand with us and not just in Washington.
What about Cuellar and Tony Gonzalez?
Oh, those are horrible. You know, Tony, he needs to think twice about what he's doing. These people want to side themselves with the Trump administration when obviously this guy is a lawless, right, impeached president. He's 32 felonies. Why would you want to side with this guy? So he's got a lot to learn. Cuellar, again, voting I don't know how many times with the Republican Party. We supported Jessica Cisneros against Cuellar in the beginning, and we're going to continue to fight that. I think what we have to do with our Democrats is primary every one of them, right? Primary all of them, and make them earn their spot. And when we do that, and when you have a primary contestant, that increases the political participation of the community. So we need to do that. We need a primary and hold them accountable for either not doing their job or hold them accountable for doing their job and vote for them. So we have a lot of good candidates in the state legislature. We have Cecilia Castellano that's running out here again. We're fighting against the vote harvesting. We're fighting against the voting purge, and we're going to continue to do that. We just wrote a Texas Open Records Act because that governor is up to his cochinadas again. And he's purging votes. So if you haven't voted, you need to check if you're registered to vote and get ready to go vote, because our march, our pathway to justice and equality is through that ballot box.
And my battery's about to run out, so this may be my last question. Tell me more about the coalition. Are you partnering with other national organizations, or is it local civil rights organizations?
Well, other national, definitely. With every major national civil rights organization, Mr. Palomares has done a good job to put us together with the Southern Poverty Law, NAACP, Gary Bledsoe. So we're going to continue to build those coalitions and work with it. Nothing ever gets done on your own. And it's not just LULAC, it's all of us. And from the national civil rights to the local organizations that are out there that are here with us today, you'll see about half of that bus were not even LULAC members. They were just people in the community that were concerned and wanted to join. So we have to create that opportunity, and that's what we do as LULAC, as elders, create the opportunity for our people to stand up and have their voices heard.
Perfect.